this is the wrap-up. I'm going to show you the servo bay, the receiver, antenna location, where I think it's going to go. I haven't done a range check on it yet, so I haven't actually fastened the antennas in until I do a range check. I've got the receiver mounted what would be upside down, and it's not coming out of here. It's got two-sided tape. It's got a little bit of glue on it, just a little touch of hot glue, and a strap. It is not going to move. All the wires are hooked up, the motor, the servos, and everything. And we'll show you that. I'll show you what the battery tray looks like all finished. And we'll put the wings on it and test everything out. So let's stop here. I'm going to take the camera off of the tripod and show you some of the details on how it all did finally fit together. Here's the battery tray. The Velcro is in there. It's tacked in with a little bit of hot glue. And I wound up running the ESC wiring to the motor. Under the motor, there was a punch out under there for ventilation. And that worked out a lot better than trying to run the wires through this hole right here. So I got checked the weight and balance already, and with a 5000 6S in here, it balances perfectly with the battery right in the center of that tray. So let's turn it over and take a look at the radio compartment. There's the radios and servos. Notice that I haven't fastened the antennas in, and I won't until I range check it very, very carefully. I've not done a balsa model in a long time, and I hope that that balsa wood doesn't shield those antennas to the point where I'm going to either have to put those on the outside or mount a remote receiver somewhere. The servos are screwed in very tightly with just a wee bit of extra added security in the form of a little hot glue, and that receiver is strapped in on top of double-sided tape with a little hot glue. It is not going to come loose unless the airplane does a lawn dart straight into the ground, in which case that's the least of my worries. The elevator is on the top, the rudder is on the bottom. In this view, there is a Y cable coming out for the ailerons, and the other two, of course, are hooked up. All the wiring is tucked neatly under that tray, out of the way, and strapped together so that there's no loose wiring around. So I think this is going to work out pretty well. So let's put the wing on and check it all out. Okay, here's the wing. And as you can see, it goes in like this. Pretty conventional. Servo is mounted on the bottom. Oops. And it fits on like that. There's two pegs in front and two screws in the back. First, before we screw those in, we're going to hook up the wing servos first. Dark to dark and light to light. And one wing, dark to dark, yep. And the other wing, dark to dark. Pegs in the front, it's in the back. Two screws go in right here. So okay, all together except for the hatch. Leaving that off to put the battery on. Very carefully. Put this up. And it barely fits. There we go. Okay, a couple of other little details here while we're at it. Pilot is glued in, and I used canopy glue around the edges here. It takes about 24 hours to fully cure, they say, and it cures clear. If you get a little slop, it's not going to hurt anything too badly. So canopy was put on. This guy has not got a very good view. I would not want to be flying this airplane, actually. Flying it may be okay, but taxiing this thing on the ground would be a pain, because you can't see past the wings, you can't see over the nose. What a mess. Up front, I got the cowling with the motor pretty precisely centered in the opening. Not much clearance here, but there is enough. The motor, the prop mount rather, did not fit quite as well as I was hoping it would. I had to put a couple of small washers in here behind the prop to get it out far enough with the motor mount all the way forward to, and I might have to add another. I can see right now I'm going to have to add another one. It's a little bit too close. Okay. Anyway, I put some anti-seize compound between the shaft and this little bullet spinner. And that's going to take care of that. And then this fits on the top. And the battery goes in there. So let's get the battery out. Okay, here it is. 5000 6S. Standard battery for a model of this size. Oops, wait a minute. I need to turn on the transmitter first. So, transmitter is on, and it's on the wrong model. Okay, Four-Star 64. Select. Main screen. Verified. Throttle cut is off. Throttle is on low. I'm not going to secure it right now. And the surfaces did their AS3X safe dance. So, high rates, and checking it out, that is a right turn. Oops. That is a left turn. The battery is not charged fully. This is up, this is down, that is right, that is left. And we turn the motor on. It's turning in the right direction still, and everything looks real good. Well, actually, looking at that, I know you're not happy. Yeah, I've actually got almost enough clearance there. I think I need to add, I've only got about maybe 3/16 clearance between the prop and the front of the cowling. I think I will add one more washer behind it. Otherwise, it's ready to fly. So, I'm going to turn the volume up here.
Volume 95.
Servo is binding just a little bit. I'm hoping that'll free up. So, right now it's in what I have called, with my voice alerts, manual mode. which means no AX, no gyros, basically. So lift it up, move it, no gyro action. If we go to AS3X, nothing, but okay, I'm going to have to power it up and move the throttle higher. There, that should have armed AS3X. Off. But it didn't. See? I had to go back into AS3X and change the fixed adjustable gains to fixed. They were adjustable, so it's set them to fixed, and now you hear the servos working. And now I'm looking in the correct direction. We'll put it in safe mode. And that is correcting in the proper direction. That is correcting in the proper direction. That. And if we come out here, you see the tail. Tail is now up elevator. And the rudder is also working properly. Okay, so this is all programmed to my B switch right here. And it's very simple to program. All you do is set up B as a 3 flight mode switch. And then you go into forward programming and set up your safe settings so that when the B switch is on 2, which is up, or you can do it the other way, the gyros are off and everything's turned off. AS3X and safe mode, both turned off. And then in the middle position, position 1, AS3X is on and safe is off. And in position 0, safe is on, AS3X is off. I like this switch right here because I can have my finger on the throttle and my finger on the switch at the same time. I set it up with the throttle cut on switch D, rates on switch E, and that's it for this airplane. Normally, if I had flaps, they'd be over here, and this is my volume control for my audio prompts and my telemetry. This airplane for telemetry has got ESC telemetry and altitude. It does not have a GPS, at least not yet. And you can't buy one right now because they're back ordered at Horizon Hobby. So that's about it. Other than the decals, this baby's ready to go flying. I think add another washer, get just a little more clearance between the prop and that cowling. I don't want to chew the cowling up. I think that's one of the few things that SIG actually has replacement parts for right now. And I kind of worry about that with SIG because they are selling everything they can make as fast as it comes in, and I don't know what they have really for spare parts on any airplane, but hopefully you won't need any. I've been told this is a great flying little airplane, and it is definitely sturdy. I was worried about the weight of this airplane because it uses the same motor as my E-Flight 150. But I weighed them on a food scale, and I was really surprised. Just picking the two airplanes up, I would have thought that the Cessna was the lighter of the two, or at best they would be about the same weight. But this airplane, it turns out, is almost exactly 1 pound lighter than my foamy Cessna, which really, really surprised me. They use the same battery, so the battery's not going to matter on that. So I'm anticipating that this thing will fly really well. It might even have some significant vertical performance compared to the Cessna with being 1 pound lighter. I don't know yet, but we'll see when we get to go fly it. If the decals don't come in before the first nice day, I will take it out to the field and give it a try. Taking off in safe, but with my finger on the switch, ready to put it into no gyros mode if something goes wrong. But I don't think it will. It all checks out. I've programmed about 7 or 8 models now with forward programming, and I've gotten halfway decent at it, I think. But stuff does happen, so it's really, really nice to have that switch there where you can turn the gyros off and fly it like we did 30 years ago when all we had was 4-channel Futabas and no gyros. And I can still do that, and do it sometimes just for fun. I haven't put any mixes in this airplane. The only thing I've programmed so far is the rates. And I don't anticipate putting any mixes in until I actually fly it, do the final trims, and set the controls so that when the radio says everything's neutral, it's actually neutral, even if I have to adjust it manually on the airplane. So that's it. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, you can just punch that like button. And if you want to see any future videos from me, hit the subscribe button, and that won't do anything except show you in YouTube when I put something new up. Have a great winter, and whatever your project is for this winter, or if it's an airplane or not, or have a Merry Christmas. It's coming up here in just 11, no, wait a minute. Today is 21 days from now. And Happy New Year. Thanks for watching again. Bye-bye.